Okay.
My name is Haley.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jimmy Valen Voice.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Jody.
And the approach the treatment that we chose is family drug court treatment. And family drug court treatment was first implemented in Miami, Florida in 1989. As of June 2014, there's now around 3,000 drug courts in all 50 states. It's starting to become an increasingly more common approach for families involved in child welfare due to parental substance misuse. Family drug courts designed to work with substance abusing parents that have open cases with child welfare. It's a solution-focused, problem-solving model which came from adult drug court approaches. Family drug court essential components consist of typically regular court hearings that happen about once a week, intensive judicial monitoring, timely referrals to substance abuse treatment, frequent drug testing, rewards and sanctions linked to service compliance, and wraparound services. This type of approach combines long-term substance abuse treatment and criminal justice supervision. The family drug court allows non-violent drug offenders into treatment rather than incarceration, and they're able to link resources together between the criminal system and substance treatment programs. The idea is to be able to increase treatment participation and decreasing the criminal recidivism.
The goal of drug treatment courts is to help families affected by drug abuse get treatment faster, stay in treatment longer, and reduce the length of time children spend in the child welfare system. As a treatment model, drug courts combine substance abuse treatment with criminal justice guidance. The drug court framework was created by the Drug Courts Program Office in 1997 and includes key components as standards for the drug courts to follow. These guidelines state that drug court programs should intervene early and swiftly. Evidence shows that early intervention is a factor in length of time a family is involved in drug court and dependency court. They should also take a multidisciplinary team approach to case processing and treatment planning. Teams should approach the family in an all-encompassing wraparound model to meet the family's and individual needs. Drug court programs should also frequently monitor participants with drug testing and judicial supervision. They should develop coordinated response strategy to participant compliance and non-compliance, create partnerships and relationships with community agencies and networks to enhance service delivery, and seek continuing education and evaluate drug court effectiveness to improve the treatment offered in drug court programs. Some examples of evaluation include participant surveys, exit interviews with participants and families, and data collection based on interventions. Okay. Family drug court programs offer individual wraparound services to the parents and children of drug-affected families and can address additional areas of need related to family health, such as employment, housing, and social functioning. Many models of family drug court programs include phases, where the most intense work is at the beginning. Participants meet with a clinical team to develop a treatment plan that is individualized to address their specific goals. Then they will attend individual and group sessions to address those goals. Participants in a drug court program must comply with regular drug testing and court hearings to review progress or noncompliance in the program. If a participant has continued noncompliance with the treatment plan, they will likely be asked to participate in a higher intensity of treatment, serve time in jail, or be fined. Toward the end of treatment, the focus will shift to address the needs of the participant and their families in relation to their social functioning, including educational goals, job searching, housing, or parenting classes.
The population being served through family drug court are families where the parents have become involved in the court system due to substance use and also have reports of child maltreatment, abuse, and or neglect. Parents get involved in family drug courts when they have an open pending case which has caused them to temporarily lose custody of their child. Sometimes participation is to prevent the removal of the child from the home. Parents attend family drug court with reunification as the primary goal, and participation is often voluntary. In 1997, tribal communities adopted family drug courts as well, the first of which was named Healing to Wellness Court. This court adopted much of the same policies and procedures of family drug court, which centered on healing the family unit as a whole, as well as parent-child reunification. Family drug court programs can have different eligibility requirements in different locations, but research has found that the family drug courts that have the best outcomes are the ones that have the least amount of exclusionary criteria. There can be some barriers to enrollment, which can include mental health issues, how severe the substance use is, and motivation to change, to name a few. The setting of family drug court looks different from a traditional looking courtroom or traditional drug court setting. According to Children and Family Futures, these court systems use an approach centered on the family and designed to meet the needs of both parents and children. Multiple agencies come together to assist the parents in recovery and reunification, which means the setting doesn't just play out in the courtroom. Some services offered through these agencies are as follows, but also not limited to: home visits, parenting classes, mental health services, financial support, help with transportation, child care, help finding employment, substance abuse treatment services, counseling, and medical services. This type of treatment works towards providing the parents with tools to become emotionally stable, as well as providing them support to be able to financially support their children once unification happens. Family drug courts operate outside of the traditional court system and operate within family courts, and are focused solely on addressing issues related to substance use. Depending on the jurisdiction, the eligibility criteria may differ from location to location. Specific services such as substance abuse treatment, requirements for successful completion, how the court team is comprised, or whether the case is overseen by more than one judge are all elements that can have some differences. But overall, through all family drug courts, the goal remains the same across the board. The primary goal set forth by these requirements is so the child can avoid long-term placements away from their home, and so parents are able to prove to the courts that they can and will become responsible for their children. One particular program talked about in the book, Selecting Effective Treatments, is called Celebrating Families. This is a family drug court program offered in California. This program uses a cognitive behavioral model and is an evidence-based training program designed to help a parent who is in early recovery from substance abuse and who also has children who are at risk of child abuse and or neglect. It is an 8-week course that the families can take together and offer classes such as healthy living, staying free from drugs and alcohol, and family-focused topics such as anger management, effects of substance abuse on the entire family, making healthy choices, and setting healthy boundaries.
FDC have increased the likelihood of reunification by 40%. Unlike traditional drug court, FDC participants are 3 times more likely to stay in treatment and twice as likely to have the process completed. Despite the seemingly deliberate program expansion, FDC have a 139% 5-year return on investment, with a 3% less likelihood of arrests for FDC parents after completing the program. FDC has proven more effective than adult courts. Parents who have gone through the program are twice less likely to have their children taken away compared to participants of traditional drug law enforcement courts. FDC offers financial and capital help for the parents to enable them to revert back to family life. Sometimes reunification fails due to the parents' inability to cater to all the needs of their child. When this happens, FDC embarks on a different placement plan. Their plan involves timely termination of parental rights and identification of a home that is permanent for the child through a process moderate so as to prevent any harm to the child. Following the introduction to FDC, the termination of parental rights due to parental negligence has been reduced down to 9% compared to the prior rates. FDC have also reduced program periods from 848 days to 393 days, making it highly attractive to substance abuse parents. According to Children and Family Futures 2015, the court child welfare activities are harmonized to achieve permanency for the child. Despite their effectiveness in increasing reunification rates, it has been observed that FDC increases a child's time to permanency, which may have negative impact on the child's welfare. However, such children are less likely to re-enter the care within a permanent period of 12 months. The characteristics of FDC could differ case to case. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquent Prevention, OJJDP, AAP has prescribed several recommendations that apply as conventional FTC frameworks. These are shared mission and vision, ensure interdisciplinary knowledge, develop interagency partnership, effective information sharing and communication, protocols for identification and assessment, addressing children's needs. FDC is a multidisciplinary entity whose intentions is to help children avoid lasting placement in foster care by giving their parents an opportunity to demonstrate to a court of law that they can become responsible caregivers. This effort has contributed to a 70% reunification rate compared to 62% for adult cases. Unlike adult drug court, whose majority defendants are male, FDC serves more women per year than men. In conclusion, children whose parents enroll for FDC programs exit in 718 days compared to 813 days in the welfare programs. FDC have realized significant milestones in the improvement of parent-victim of substance abuse, and, more so, that of their children upon successful completion of the rehabilitation program.
So I specifically looked at the Washington court system and the family treatment courts that are a part of our Washington system. Sealer did a research project, and so they looked at Clark County Family Treatment Court, and their court is specific called Striding Towards Excellent Parents, or STEP. This court the research looked at the participants from 2010 to 2014, during which the Children Affected by Methamphetamines, or CAM, was implemented as a part of the Family Treatment Court. The sample size of those participants was 65, and they compared that to participants in a traditional model of family treatment court with a sample size of 61. Additionally, they analyzed a cohort of FTC participants prior to the implementation of CAM services with a sample size of 85 and matched a comparison group of families eligible for FTC program but who received traditional family court process with a sample size of 83. Based on looking at the family treatment court with the CAM program families, the outcomes, and these were regardless of whether they graduated or not, were that half as many new maltreatment allegations were founded 2 or 3 years after FTC entry. There was also 1/3 as many founded allegations 3 years after entry. And children spent less time in out-of-home placement, 110 days versus 164 days, in 2 years after drug court entry. They were 40% more likely to be reunified with their children, and were half as likely to have their child removed again 2 to 3 years after FTC entry. They spent 3 times longer in treatment and were more than twice as likely to complete treatment. And they were rearrested nearly 3 times less often for any charge. The cost of the program they found in Clark County was about $21,633 per participant. And that was a 139% return on investment after 5 years, a 1 to 1.39 cost-benefit ratio. Van Wormer et al. Looked at the Sonoma County Family Drug Treatment Court, and they found that for the outcomes, almost 3 times more likely were the participants to complete treatment compared to those that were not a part of Family Drug Treatment Court. There was 7% child reunification compared to 62%, 9% termination of parental rights compared to 30%, and the time in the system was 393 days compared to 848 days. The cost that they found was about $6,552 per participant compared to $14,150 for services for families in traditional family court. Thank you for listening, and